Here's Arukh HaShulchan. You're there. Siman Yud Ches Seif Lamedat to Lamed Vav, and this is supplemental day 90 of the Arukh HaShulchan series. And in Sim Lamed Gimel, Seif Lamed Gimel, we had said that if you lost a knife, you checked it prior to the shechita, and then you did shechita and did several animals, and then you lost the knife, it wasn't checked, so it has a ches heter. But Lamedaut says, Yeshem Masei Shomim, those of rabbis says, so we don't know if that the knife touched that backbone of one of them. Another was talking about the knife touched one of the backbones. Anything which is checked afterwards is also. Despite the fact that you don't know that a pagam was created as a result. That's the Rosh, the Rashman, the Ran. The time the Stavra makes sense. I've got too much inspired. You know, based on what we said previously, any guess of my freckles, so it's even though we said previously that touching the backbone doesn't necessarily make a pagima any more than touching the hide. Shemin says, and the evidence of that is when we find the animal, when we find a pagima knife, so we chafe up the animal, and we don't assume that it was necessarily the backbone. So I have a sif lamed. That we said it happened on the hide before the mefrekas. That's a chumrah, not a kula. V'rayel is that evidence for this sharei, and here it's a chumrah the other direction. V'rayel is evidence for this sharei, but Gemara yeshish shetoy lafilu kula. Those who do assume that it happened on the backbone, l'kula. You look at it's going to even though we don't pass away, we say no, not necessarily. We see the nevertheless so there is a logic to say that the backbone is likely to cause a nick. So only animals that are shechted after and birds shechted after you touch the backbone. They, even though we don't know it was nick, but they were not necessarily yotz mecheskes sister. We don't know that they were shechted properly. But sakin avad tzas cheskes bika. I'm not sure where to put the comma here, but it means also the knife lost. I guess the sakin when it touched me freckles, it lost. No, that's where it plays comma. Sakin also the knife because it touched the backbone, it lost some of its assumption of being checked. Even though the Rosh cast doubt on this halacha, the base says possibly as well. Based on what we explained, is a good reason for it. Because the base says right, show up a sakin baduk. You checked it with a knife which had been checked. Never couldn't sheep the canoe. Achar shchita, you got lost before you could check it after shchita. And he found it. Vupogam, and now you find it damaged. She doesn't share the shchita's kosher. Since when it left us, it was mutar v'zeshim. So pogam, that which is found now to be damaged. Emer shiva, but it's almost maybe somebody, he himself, I guess, broke bones without paying attention. You put the knife in its chazaka kan sharon. Sif the zayin kosav. He writes, the base says he writes. Im bada chasakin achar shchita. If you checked the knife after shchita, but say you put it away. Charanim says bruma. Then he found it's damaged. Leislam ba. It's not concerned. The emer b'davar achar nivkama. Maybe got damaged some other way. Or shir but someone broke bones. Lava daite. He wouldn't pay attention. Kan sharon. V'shloch shirak shabodak achar shchita. It was only machshir in this case, where in Petez Zayin, where you checked after the shechita, and it was okay. But actually, you kind of have to make it in seafood gimel, where below, but you go without checking shachar shechita after the shechita. And the Achronim have complained against me from that which he wrote himself in Siftes Vav. I feel nofa sakin akarka, even if the knife fell on the ground, we don't assume that it fell on its edge. Unless you know clearly, it fell on its edge. As we shall see. Therefore, how can we be lenient in this doubt when you didn't check after shechita? Therefore, they rejected it. Says the Pascal Isser. That's the Bach and the Pri Chodesh. To those who answered the Ikar HaHeter, who, however, Yatzab Heter. Those they say the primary heter, since it left in heter. Had he come in front of us to ask at the point when the knife was lost in material. would permit it. And then therefore knife exited to a cheskas heter. You get out needs to pogum, even therefore even if it's some pogum afterwards, the racha was doing that pogum some other way. It's the taz and the shach. This is astonishing. Because since it became revealed afterwards that he made a mistake in the assumption of permissibility of the knife. We're clear. It's going to clarify we have nothing clear to say, no clear reason to say that the animal exited its assumption of prohibition, which it had while it was alive. So therefore, how can we say this? Yes, just Tiras Rabbos. There are very many contradictions to this. So long brackets here. Very difficult to shach that the backbone is more likely to cause damage than the hide, which has done as a Rosh means it down according to those who hold that way, but we don't hold that way. Kam Dvarav, like Rosh himself, wrote Kam Dvarav, Siv Chad Chav Zayin Tzrichim In Gado Ayin Sham. When he wrote says difficult, Kam B'Shkos Case of placing Mitam Fake Sveika. There's this fake Sveika, which allows us to permit the knife. Tzarchin Lefi Divrei Tesis Tafyud Dibra Mask Sakin the Bein Davar Shavali Pokim. Ni what says fake Sveika, which definitely will cause a nick. Was having the Sif Lam Rav the Ikra Savik fake Sveika is bar, and in its essence, fake Sveika is not clarified. This far the whole that's about the Lomatzir Rakpam Echad B'Shas Gin Vav, and this concept that since it came out with a heter. It's okay. We only find one time in the Shas Gidin, the Takon Rabban in terms of a certain Takon Rabban. I don't remember what it is. I'm getting that off. Below immediately the rights are not for a Torah issue. Gam Sham Lo Simu Kamei Kiyus Sham. Also, that wasn't clarified for the person who was dealing with the case. The Bach seems to be correct, like the Bichodesh writes. Lambavav leading read the Chain Dictate B'Sita Sayin Lamar the Heats Niyah. The HaShulchan says. Once we resolve the question, say that therefore in Sifta Zayin he says that you put it away. This is the difference. The Bekam Ma'ash Never Sakin. He'll tell you about where the knife is lost. Found afterwards later in a place which is hefker, in other words, a place which is unprotected. It's clear that several hands and several feet were at work with this knife. Therefore, since it's found in a place where many things could have happened to it, there's no damage to the assumption of permissibility because you had the check the night before shechita, and that which is found now to be damaged. It has to become damaged. Because in this place where it was hefker. It's like as if you definitely broke bones in it. Therefore, since when it left, it was mutter. When it was lost at the time of the shechita, there is something clear which actually determined the animal's exit from its assumption of prohibition, which is a check before shechita. That which is now found damaged, also is something clear in which to link that damage. Because it was a place of hefker. But Sifta sheets there you put it in away, the same place. Therefore, if it's possibly broke bones, it wasn't paying attention. Nevertheless, since it was in a hidden place, we have nothing clear in which to link the damage. Therefore, only permitted when they checked after shechita. Then we can say that, okay, maybe that fact that's damaged after we find it nicked after you checked this because you broke bones. Even if it's a question of your bones. We don't assume they didn't check it properly, which is more unlikely. Practice is here, if it's not like something, it was suffix where it fell on its point. The husam suffix there is it's doubtful. But here, in our case of the knife you found in the middle of nowhere, not middle of nowhere, but Chavade is definitely a reason to assume the damage happened after discrimination of Makamufkar, Hefker, because it was a place which is open and vulnerable. Yesh is something similar. Reish Perk base, the Nida, in the beginning of the Nida, Beni Nicha Chasel Kufsa, whether you put a bdika cloth in a box, or you toss it into a garbage, being bdikas in terms of checking. Because of time, we should be a rush. Therefore, you didn't write the reasons in the which are the rush. Shein Fi Halacha, which are not according to Halacha, which Kosavnu. As he says, that's how the Shulchan Aruch worked. In several places. Okay, so evidently, even though it's based on Rush, you don't quote the parts of Rush which are not halachically acceptable. That's it for today.